There are a lot of very powerful weapons in Fallout 4, but most of them are tucked away and hard to find. So in this video, I will be showing you 12 overpowered weapons that you don't want to miss. But before we get into it, Christmas is right around the corner, so if you're looking for some great gift ideas, check out the pinned comment below. Now first up on the list is a very powerful weapon that you can walk right past. To get it, you will need to head over to the Dunwich Borer's location. When you get here, take out all of the raiders, then make your way to the underground tunnels, and at the end of the tunnel, you will find this hole in the ground full of water. Jump in and swim down, and here you will find CRS Tooth. This is a very overpowered melee weapon as it will do a lot of damage, and the perk on it will apply both a bleed and poison effect to your target, which will keep constant pressure on your enemies, making it harder for them to heal themselves. The next weapon on the list is one of the strongest weapons that you will find during the early game of Fallout 4. To get it, you will need to head over to the Cambridge Police Station. When you get here, you will need to assist the Brotherhood of Steel by helping them defeat a large group of ghouls. But after this, you can talk to Paladin Dance, who will ask you for your help on a mission at the nearby ArcJet Systems location. And after that short quest, you will be given the legendary Righteous Authority laser rifle. Now this thing is a beast during the early game as it will do a ton of damage, and the perk on it will make it do even more damage if you're using it in VATS. The perk on the Righteous Authority makes the weapon do double damage on critical hits, and it will fill the critical meter 15% faster. So you can get critical hits in faster, and they will do double damage, so you can quickly take out difficult enemies. But even outside of VATS, the Righteous Authority will still melt everything you encounter during the early game. Next up, we have another legendary weapon that you can easily walk right past. To get it, you will need to start the Mechanical Menace side quest. This side quest should pop up once you reach level 15, and it will start the questline for the Automatron DLC, which will just be a handful of quests. But when you reach the point in this questline that will take you to the Fort Hagen satellite array, look for this chest in the area. And in this chest, you will find the legendary salvaged Assaultron Head. This is a very powerful weapon. You will need to charge it up similarly to a laser musket, but with 5 charges, you will be able to pretty much one-shot most enemies in the game. But the perk on this weapon will make the weapon inflict 50 rads to you every time you shoot it, regardless of how charged it is. So yes, it will do a lot of damage, but it will also damage you. To get the next weapon on the list, you will need to progress through the Minuteman questline until reaching the Taking Independence quest, where you will reclaim the castle for the Minutemen. After you do this, you will need to leave the castle for 3 days. Then when you return, a new NPC will be at the castle named Ronnie Shaw. She will give you a follow-up side quest called Old Guns, which will be a short side quest that will take you under the castle. But once you complete the Old Guns side quest, Ronnie Shaw will turn into a vendor at the castle, and she will be selling the last-minute legendary Gaus rifle. This is another extremely powerful weapon due to its high base damage, which can be increased slightly more from other perks and by charging the shot up to 100%, but the perk on this weapon will increase its limb damage by 50%, so targeting limbs can make this weapon do a massive amount of damage in one shot. To get the next weapon on the list, head over to Pikmin Gallery. When you get here, you will need to take out all of the raiders in this gallery as you make your way to the secret tunnels underneath the gallery, and here you will find Pikmin being held up by a few more raiders. If you defend Pikmin, he will give you a key to a safe in the first room of the gallery, and in that safe you will find the legendary Pikmin's blade. This is one of the best legendary melee weapons in Fallout 4, as it has a fast attack speed and the perk on it applies a bleed effect to your target, which will do an extra 25 damage to your target. And on top of that, it will come with a stealth blade, which will increase the damage the weapon does when doing sneak attacks. To get the next weapon on the list, head over to the Railroad HQ. After you agree to work with the Railroad, you can talk to Deacon and he will give you a side quest called Tradescraft. Now this is a pretty simple side quest that shouldn't take you too long, but at the end of it you will be given one of the best pistols in the game. That pistol will be the legendary Deliverer. This weapon will have a great starting base damage and it will come with a suppressor, but it also uses a very common ammo type. The perk on the Deliverer improves your chances to hit in VATS, and it also reduces the cost of VATS by 25%, making this an amazing weapon for pistol and VATS builds. The next weapon can be found at Vault 81. When you get here, talk to the vendor Alexis, and she will be selling the legendary Overseer's Guardian Rifle. This is a very overpowered weapon as it will just tear through everything you encounter in Fallout 4, but it will make the game feel very easy. This is because of the high base damage on the Overseer's Guardian and the fact that it uses a common ammo type, so you can use it very often. But what really pushes this weapon over the edge is the perk on it, which will make it fire 2 rounds every time you pull the trigger, doubling the weapon's damage for free. It will come with a scope, but I suggest removing it as it will just be too hard to aim through the scope with the aggressive recoil on the weapon. But putting a different sight on it and using it for short to medium range will make the Overseer's Guardian incredible. The next weapon can actually be found right outside of Vault 81. Find a place to sit and wait for the vendor Cricket to show up, and she will be selling the Spray and Pray legendary SMG. This weapon will come with a 100 round mag and a suppressor, and it will have a high rate of fire, so it can do a lot of damage very quickly. But the perk on it will make the rounds fired from this weapon explode on contact, dealing an additional 15 damage to every target around the explosion. This is a lot stronger than it may sound, and it can easily melt even the most difficult enemies in the game very quickly. The next weapon on the list will come from the Nuka World DLC. When you get to Nuka World, head over to the Nuka World Market, and then talk to the vendor Aaron. He will be selling the legendary Splatter Cannon. Now this is personally one of my favorite legendary weapons in Fallout 4, because it will come with a large drum mag, a suppressor, and a scope, and the perk on it will increase the damage of each shot that hits the same target, so you can use it to quickly melt down enemies one at a time or take down difficult bosses. The next weapon on the list will actually come from the vendor Caitlin, who will be near Aaron in the Nuka World Market. Caitlin will be selling the legendary Throat Slicer melee weapon. The Throat Slicer is a better version of the legendary Pikmins blade, as it will have a higher base damage, and the perk on the Throat Slicer will apply a bleed effect to your target, dealing an additional 25 damage. To get the next weapon on the list, you will need to start the Best of 3 side quest. This is not a very difficult or long side quest, but at the end of it you will face off against a boss who will be using the Tesla Cannon. Now this isn't a legendary weapon, but it is an extremely overpowered weapon that can do a lot of damage, and it can be modified to be even stronger. But on top of that, it will use a very common ammo type, so you can use it very often. And the final weapon on this list will come from Vault 111. When you get here, make your way to the Overseer's office, and here you will find a display case with the Cryolator heavy weapon inside of it. This is another non-legendary weapon, but the Cryolator performs like a legendary weapon due to the unique effect that it has, which will freeze and slow your targets while damaging them. And it can also be modified to shoot longer range projectiles, making it an amazing all-around weapon. And those are 12 overpowered weapons that you don't want to miss in Fallout 4, but I would love to know which of them you like the most in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.